Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a Yardworks lawn tractor. It's made by MTD. It's got a Briggs & Stratton engine on this one. The issue with this machine here is it's not getting any fuel to the carburetor and the engine. All right, let's pop the hood open. Briggs & Stratton single cylinder engine. If you can even notice what it is so dirty. And the carburetor is right here. So what I'm going to try to do here is start this up just to show you that it will not fire up at all. Let's get some choke on. The key is right here. Well, we got a little something, but now there's nothing. So what I'll do to confirm that it is a fuel issue, I'm going to take the air filter off. I'm going to spray some card cleaner in there. It works as quick start anyway. Wow, look at this filter. And if it just burns what I spray in there and dies, that definitely confirms that it is a fuel issue. Here's my quick start. I'm sure some viewers recognize where this comes from. Anyway, I'm going to spray it right in here. So again, it's definite that it is a fuel issue. All right, so at this point here, I'm going to show you the very first thing I will check. I know it sounds like this should just be common sense, but yes, I will check the fuel tank for fuel. There's lots of fuel in there. You wouldn't believe it, guys, but I do get equipment come in the shop. People say it's not getting fuel, and it ends up being there's no fuel left in the machine, in the gas tank. Okay, now I know there's fuel in there. The second thing I always check is the carburetor solenoid if it has one. This one does have one. Have a look here. It's got two wires going to it. Now this solenoid here, what it's supposed to do when you shut the engine off is stop the engine from backfiring, because sometimes when you shut your engine off and it's warm, a bit of gas will get into the engine and try to ignite that fuel and cause a backfire. So by having a solenoid that works properly, it will avoid that. But if the solenoid does not work properly, what's going to happen is it will block the flow of fuel to the engine or inside the carburetor and then to the engine through the manifold here. Now, a very quick way to find out if your solenoid works is by turning the key on and off and listening to it. If you hear it click when you turn the key on, then it's working. So make sure your battery is good before you test it out this way. I already know the battery is good because I did get the engine spun over and started with quick start. So let's test this right now. Here's the key. And sometimes I even put my fingers on it because I can feel the solenoid clicking as well. So actually, guys, I'm feeling nothing. I'm hearing nothing. So this could be the culprit. So what you can do here is you can disconnect the wire and you can put a little test light in these two wires. There's a ground and a positive here, so you can do that. Now, if you do have a used one, it might save you time from using the test light. I do have a used one kicking around, so I'm just going to plug it into this plug here and see if I'm getting any juice to it. So here's an identical solenoid. And now I'm going to turn the key on. And this one's working. So there's no issues here with power coming to the solenoid. So that's been figured out pretty quickly here. What I'm going to do now is remove the old solenoid to confirm that it's not working. And I will pinch the fuel line here with some pliers like this, or forceps, whatever you want to call these, just so that the fuel doesn't drip continually out of the gas tank or the carburetor. And you will need a 12mm wrench to get this solenoid out. If your wrench is too thick to get in here, just grind it down on your grinder until it fits in here. So there'll be a bit of fuel that will come out. And the bowl will also come off the carburetor. So the inside of the carburetor looks pretty clean, so that's a good sign. And the solenoid also looks clean, it's not seized. Now sometimes the solenoid will not work because it is seized with varnicized gas. So in a lot of cases, if you take it off and it's dirty, clean it up really well with carb cleaner and it might work for you after that. So what I need to do here is hook it back up to the connector, and I'm going to turn the key on and nothing's happening. So this solenoid is constantly blocking the flow fuel to the carburetor. So in this case, what I'll be doing is putting on the used solenoid that I tested earlier here. First, I'm just going to clean the carburetor ball and come back with the other solenoid. Now, before I proceed, I will just spray a bit of carb cleaner here. Don't spray the O-ring for the bowl here, guys, because it will swell up and you will have to get a new one. Now, before I reinstall the solenoid, what I want to tell you guys is if you don't feel like buying one of these solenoids from Briggs, which they are about $100 here in Canada. By the way, you can get one on Amazon for about 25 bucks. What you can do is snip the tip here of the solenoid, and this will allow fuel to flow through the carburetor and get your engine going again. The only downfall is when you shut your engine off, sometimes it might let out a loud backfire that sounds like a shotgun. If you can live with that, then you're gonna save a few bucks. If not, then get a new one. Now, the part number for that solenoid from Briggs is 694393. Like I said, you can get one really cheap on Amazon. Use that part number. Now, if you have to replace the entire carburetor, here's the part number from Briggs, 594593. And I'll show you what that carburetor looks like. And here's what that new carburetor looks like, guys. Sometimes it costs just as much to buy the solenoid here in Canada than the entire carburetor. Okay, so I've got the bowl nice and clean here. And when you put your solenoid back on, make sure you have that small copper washer. Okay, now if I turn the key, you should hear a click. And I hear it. That's what you want to hear. Now the question is will this machine run now? Let's try it out. Okay, here we go. So this machine needs a major cleanup, guys. I always make sure the machines are worth fixing before I clean them up properly. And the way I'm going to do that is by power washing the entire machine when I'm done servicing it. All right, so I hope this video has helped you to diagnose machines quickly. So if you keep spare solenoids in your shop, so if you get a carburetor that's completely rusted out, don't throw it out because there's little parts you can save on it, especially the solenoid. These solenoids with tax in Canada from Briggs are like $100. And as I mentioned in the video, you can probably chance it with the Amazon ones for about 25. I just looked on Amazon Canada, that's about what they were going for. And the other option you have, as I mentioned in the videos, you can snip the tip of the solenoid. It'll get you going, but just be prepared that sometimes when you shut it off, you might get a backfire. So other than that, it's pretty quick to diagnose a bad solenoid. That's pretty well the first thing I check. Thanks for watching, guys, and please like the video and share it with your friends. Have a great day.